Nope, wait a second. No, she has to stream it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Lingo?
This is where.
Lingo.
Like that's true.
You gotta be careful, this is recorded stuff. Well, I can't be sarcastic. Can't say something rude.
I still don't know whether these meetings are being held this way because it's a committee.
So I just have to make sure. It's not.
Yeah, well,
I agree. What's happened is
Yeah.
for us to be able to broadcast them through the thing, you had to go on the town, and then once the town got a hold of it.
We're just waiting for it to show. Yeah. The meeting.
Sent you in?
And then.
Oh,
It is,
okay.
it's enough.
Is it like this, right?
All right, ladies, let us know.
We will.
I mean, I've only had COVID twice around, but everybody I know,
Is it
and
streaming?
there's so many people
Yeah,
around me that have had it. Again, I don't like that's gonna.
Hi, everybody. It's Maureen. Happy New Year.
Good evening.
Give us 1 second. And it doesn't.
You know, by the way,
it's not
I
streaming.
am vaccinated.
Well, I don't doubt that.
Usually.
How's your time, Kevin?
Yeah.
it's awesome.
I'm not.
Absolutely.
It does look a little more
I
relaxed.
work 10 hours a week. It's just,
You on the road?
it's like being on vacation.
Only in America.
I just interviewed today for the Connor High School softball job, and I'm thinking about all the responsibilities. They have 3 teams, they have RC, JV. Oh, I don't know. I'm living a pretty good life, maybe.
Do you want to write that?
So, yeah, well, I mean, I coach.
Right here.
The owls listen, you know.
It's not us, it's YouTube.
No, of course.
That's the always say.
You didn't what?
It's you. It's not you, it's me.
I got an agenda for restaurant comments.
Oh, there's agendas right there, Neil. All right.
Okay.
I had to choose my words to say.
No, we're not. We're not set yet. We're trying to make sure that it's live. It's not live yet. Well, it's live, but not. But streaming. It's not streaming.
At some point, we're just gonna have to start, whether it streams or not, because we're gonna have to be done with this.
You can't, though. You're not supposed to.
But this is a committee. It's a committee meeting. I'll talk to the town manager, I'll talk to whoever else, but.
Okay.
You know.
Just have
Wasn't the
some-
town manager the one that told you how to do these meetings?
It goes. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, when he was the town clerk.
Okay, thanks.
Well, we'll keep trying.
I guess
but
so. It's recorded, so. Okay.
We'll keep
You all
trying,
set?
it's recorded and. Okay.
We're not all set.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Oh, okay. All right, so, hi, everybody.
Thank you.
Welcome back to it. The 26th year. Hard to imagine how long I'm doing this. So we'll start, we'll go through the things. So many things we're not gonna have to deal with till later, but we'll start with refreshments. Then first, I know we have some stuff with the vendor, new business with Dion. I understand Duncan's not going to
That is correct.
help us this year, so bottled water will still be able to get from the friends.
Probably.
That light for that answer. Yeah, we're trying to look at other options for tables.
Yeah, I don't know who, besides the grocery stores, maybe?
Costco,
Okay,
and they've been supportive of other things. The other one would be Price Chopper. They make bagels too, so
yeah, they're huge.
yeah.
Okay, and then Veggie World has been pretty consistent with giving it.
Yeah,
You think they're still on board?
Yeah, he's still on board, yeah.
Awesome. And do we have anybody else to add to the list?
No, I was gonna reach out to that Evil Spirit, to see if they wanted to do the popcorn again.
Lesser evil.
Lesser Evil.
I thought we're going to a package store. I said, oh, this sounds good. Yeah, there's a.
Oh, great.
So just domains.
Yeah, so we'll reach out to them, but that's, you know, it's not an anniversary year or anything, so.
Okay.
That was something special.
Okay. Refreshment tables, and I think we used 16 tables last year, so it depends on whether we have a DJ, and whether we have some of the sponsors coming and stuff.
The only comment was on the refreshment tables, we gotta make sure we catch up those skirts because they're trip hazards.
Oh, make sure that, okay, so.
The what?
The skirts on the table were trip hazards because the way they pooled on the side of the table, people could get caught up in them.
Now that you mentioned the DJ, we had a mini meeting. I don't know if you were on that meeting or not.
It wasn't.
wasn't. So we all thought that the DJ was a good plus to the mix of activities going on.
Okay.
So we're going to do that again, and I don't know who that is, but we need to contact him and lock in the date.
It's also, it's an expense too.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we know. But
Okay, so we'll have the
Michelle
DJ.
knows the name of the DJ.
okay.
I can't remember his name. I
I
mean,
don't have it.
I couldn't do that.
I have it in the accounting files, but not in here.
Okay, so we'll have the DJ return.
Yeah.
Okay. Neil, you're gonna hand trophies and who's gonna
Yes,
work
I'll-
again this year?
I'll contact Paul Powers and, we'll be asked for the same.
Yeah, I'll give you our 10-year.
Okay.
I mean, I think we're gonna have for 10 years this year. And then sponsorships.
Yeah, so we're working on that. We definitely know that Hillcon is coming back.
Great.
And we, I also heard during Christmas, New Year's, data mail will be back.
Awesome.
So now I just need a little block of time to start making follow-up phone calls. Those are the big ones. The smaller ones seem to be coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, huge
Most of the cheer sponsors have said yes.
Great.
Okay, and then I know Maureen, normally you kind of, is she here anymore?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Maureen, because I couldn't see. So I know you were kind of shepherding the prizes or keeping them together. I know you chased.
Well,
most of them.
I,
Are you
yeah,
still doing-
it's, I will certainly assist. It's fallen more on staff, but I'll talk to Lisa and Karen.
I can tell you from the prize perspective, from the dining partner program, Michelle and I reached out to everybody during December. I can take this off in here.
Yeah.
We reached out to all the dining partners in December. We've got just about everybody locked in, and we did that because of Winterfest. They pulled out what they need for Winterfest. The friends have pulled that out. And Lisa's pulled out what she needs for her summer reading programs, not just the winter and summer reading programs. And so then, you know, the balance basically is for the race. So we're well covered with that. I mean, we've got a generous number of gift, $25 gift certificates.
Mhm.
Probably to, how many do you think we have, like 15, 16,
Yeah.
probably 15 already. So then it's just filling in some other stuff. I mean, at some point, we need to say, how much is enough?
Right, yeah.
Right, right. And I think that's how it played out last year also.
Yeah.
Just as an aside, when we're talking about prizes, refreshments, etc., Anna, if for some reason we can't find a substitute for Dunkin', if
Yeah.
Costco or Price Chopper or anybody else doesn't step up to the plate, maybe one of the sponsors, the sponsorship can underwrite it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Do you have any idea how much Dunkin' was worth?
Well, it's, basically somewhere between 20 to 30 dozen donuts.
Bagels.
Bagels, well, that was 20 dozen, last year they gave 20 dozen bagels and 10 dozen donuts. So it was a combination. So I don't know how much a dozen costs these days, $8 a dozen, $10 a dozen.
Or more, yeah.
Yeah, I think just Price Chopper, I think runs like $1, maybe $10 probably for a dozen.
So, I mean, we just, went high and said $10 a dozen. If
So
we
a
did
couple
20
hundred, that's
dozen,
$200.
$200.
It's not an insurmountable amount of money.
Did you say the Diner Partners Program gift certs are gonna be auctioned off the race?
Are gonna be what?
Are gonna be raffled off at the race?
Yeah,
Some of
Oh,
them are,
okay.
yeah, some of them will be.
Yeah.
So when we were done, does anyone remember how many bagels we had left over?
I
know we
don't
had
think this
some-
past year that there was as many as
There
there
weren't
were.
as many.
Yeah, there were-
And donuts were a hit.
Yeah.
Because they gave us the combo of donuts and bagel.
Yeah.
Because we didn't.
But the donuts went really quick.
No, I know.
I'm surprised, yeah.
Yeah, they went no time.
But I think some of it is if you have enough, and if you run out towards the end, that's fine, because typically we don't run out.
No, take the bananas and oranges, usually have those ones.
And
And I think with the new children's mini race setup that we're gonna try to do, donuts will go quick.
The donuts will be popular.
Yeah.
Maybe if that's the case, maybe we, you know, we look at, you know, if we can line up donuts, bagels at, say, Price Chopper, maybe we get the donuts from Costco or something like that.
All right, any reason we should stay with flat systems?
I think
they're good. Okay, any reason we shouldn't use the same race entry form, system we had last year as well?
I think that was good. Is Platt booked yet?
Is flat what?
Is Platt booked yet? Because we usually have to bid it.
No, I'll book them. I just want to make sure that we,
Okay, Dan.
yeah, Dan. He'll usually reach out to me anyways, but I'll talk to him. Rates, are the rates staying the same? They're not changing it, so it's still gonna be 25 and 30, and then it's the kids, what, $10, I think they were?
Yeah.
For kids. Okay, I know we talked about, I know new business can be that fun, kids race, so we can get to that in a little bit. Numbers, usually that's my contribution. I'll take care of that this year.
I just had a question about, I think about the numbers of last year. I think, I kind of messed up. When the runners came to the day before to pick the numbers, I guess we should have taken off the bottom of the number right then and there.
No, you shouldn't. So what happens is, the problem we run into occasionally, and it's not a huge problem, obviously, is we don't want to be calling numbers for people who aren't there. So normally we do is ask if they're staying for the raffle, we'll take their number. Now you could do that for the, Saturday, just say, do you think you'll be staying around for the raffle? No, of course they may say yes, and then they don't. That happens.
Okay.
But the idea is to kind of keep the, we're calling. 2 years ago, it went really well. We didn't call them any. Last year seemed like we called a lot of empty numbers. I'm not sure why. Last year we did, and the year before we did a pretty good job of only getting people who were there. So 1 year we had the volunteers with the box at the race at the end. I think it's the message that
was last year.
Right, and we did the year before, but the year before, maybe whoever I had down there was good about saying, are you gonna stay for the race? If you are.
I was thinking, I wasn't asking anybody.
Well, Linda, this is all your fault, right?
Okay, something wrong.
Yeah, that's why we had more blank ones last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean.
I'll remember that now.
Yeah.
Are you gonna stay?
Okay, course committee. Ron, you can handle the usual, the police.
Yeah, the police, I got them, yeah.
You'll get this, I think I
You
kept the starter on, didn't I?
you have the one.
And I still have the system, so those are set. Homeowners will do something. Neil, you were the third person helped us.
Yeah.
Yep, so we all do that again.
Sure.
Okay, course signs and sponsor signs are on, of course. And bathrooms and power, you'll check on those. Okay.
Oh, the bathrooms, obviously. you
Yeah,
sure.
we'll use the record. On the course signs.
Sorry, I didn't go so fast, but
Do we want to add more? Like the lawn signs, because we don't have.
We didn't have enough.
Well, no, I don't know. I'm asking.
you're talking about for the advertisement, you mean the previous one? I don't know how those were handed out and how you guys selected people to do those. Because I never been involved in that.
The friends were kind enough to,
No, they gave us the list.
no, but they originally bought, they bought the original signage. And then they developed a list and they put them out the first year. And I think last year people were away and we just got the list.
They weren't intending to do it last year. That's not part of their job.
Tim put them out? Who put them out?
I think Tim maybe put a lot of them
Tim put them out and I picked a lot of them up.
Okay,
You guys drove around to all these neighborhoods and put signs
Yeah.
out? Wow.
but there's a list in place of people who have already agreed to accept library signage on their lawns.
How many signs do we have? Do we know approximately?
think we have-
25, 50?
When I drive through town, not enough. When I pick them up.
Yeah.
Maybe 25 at the most.
Okay.
Although I have to say, if anybody else is putting them out or picking them up, the way they developed the list was perfect because it had you drive to the streets. Even if you're here and you look and you're like, oh, that's just over there. If you follow the list, you're on the same side of the street that the sign is supposed to go on when you're getting in and out of the car. So follow the list in order. It makes sense.
Okay,
Even if you think you know this town because you lived here all your life, you know where you're going.
Yeah.
That'll get you. I just noticed that as I was going through and picking them up. I'm like, somebody put thought into this because you go around and drive around.
Yeah, and if you need some help, if you double that number or something, I'd be glad to drive around and drop signs.
So do we want to decide, I don't know how much those signs were, but I mean.
They're like $10 or $12 a sign.
Each.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
and
That's
for
not
that
cheap.
cost, you have to know that you have a lawn to put it on. So we've lost the Allen Drive lawn, unless,
You have to know you have the lawn,
unless
plus
the cons or somebody else.
the more public the lawn is, like, and I'll see on the main road, like, you know, you put it on my street, that's nice, but 6 people are gonna see it, you know what I'm saying? It's not worth the cost,
I
probably.
mean, some of the sponsors that have said that we could use their lawn, like Liberty Bank.
Yeah, that'd be.
You know, I know somebody up on, I wanna say Stagecoach, which gets a lot of traffic. You know, but we didn't get a sign there because there weren't any signs left to put there.
Hmm.
Okay, so maybe we have to, figure out how many signs we have and how many people we really have that we can put signs out on. If we can print off
See how many.
another 10 or whatever, if you think that will drive more participation.
So the signs are, we go to the print shop, I see.
There's a guy that we use, yeah,
Okay.
he does it first.
So what are we doing with the signs? Keeping them?
Well, let's find out how many we have,
Okay, where's the list? And then we need to count them.
find out, and you know, that's the other problem, is sometimes they disappear.
Are there dates on the signs?
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
No. so
Just-
we put 'em on
just
the
as
weekend.
Third Sunday.
That makes sense. All right, well, if you need some help with that, just let me know where the normal does. I'll be glad to.
I think it just says Sunday, not third Sunday.
No, I think it says third Sunday because
Oh, that's good. Put
put
'em
them
in.
out.
Isn't the third Sunday this year?
Yeah.
It's always the
first.
third Sunday, yeah.
So who has the most up-to-date copy of the list?
Well, the friends do, but Tim also was looking at that for the book sale and he thought there should be some modifications and he knows the towns.
Well, his comment was that when he was going back to pick them up, he was on the route, pick them up, but the thing is, somebody else had picked up.
No, but
some.
he also said some of them, just where they're located, they're not getting the
That's right.
visibility.
So,
Well,
and Tim would be the one that,
And it's not necessarily for our race, but for the book sale, which is when I picked up their signs and we used a similar list. With all the signs of the political signs, sometimes it gets lost,
that's right, yeah.
right? So sometimes people are willing to put it on their lawn and they've got 7 other. I mean, I was there to pick it up. I was perfect.
Oh, but that was the race you had in October, right?
Right.
You don't have that problem
Yeah,
now.
no, I picked them up after the book sale, not after the race,
Oh, the book sale,
so,
yeah.
that's why I was hitting the fall time frame.
Yeah.
So if you think it got lost, it probably wouldn't get lost in May.
Right, right. So are you offering up Tim to review the list?
Well, I'm just saying is he has some input because as to what we had and to locations where he was
I think
picking
he
up.
would be willing to, because I think he said he would.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
he thought it needed
We can
a
ask
little bit of
them. We'll ask them.
revamping, whether it's book sale or otherwise, so.
So maybe he could do that before the next meeting and then we can, but between now and then, find out how many signs we physically still
I
have.
don't want to promise, he's my brother-in-law, I can't make promises.
I know, but we can ask.
But I could say, I would say he probably has some constructive input.
Okay.
All right.
I'll put my name in, I'm on Walsh Avenue, and everybody goes down Walsh,
Right.
because it's in the race. Right, but so I'll call Tim and ask whether or not I can be put on if there's extra signs.
Yeah, and if you have 25 signs, you review the list, you say, okay, Liberty Bank, great, your place, great, and we'll just, kind of work down from visibility down.
Right.
So Howland Drive is gone. So you can have that sign. And then we'll just have to do a count. Somebody's gonna have to count the number of signs that we have left.
They're in the shed.
So somebody's gonna have to pull them from the shed. Neil, can you do that? Can you pull them from the shed and count?
Sure.
Figure out how many we have and then we'll figure out
Yeah.
what's on the list and how many we need to order.
Where's the shed now? Where's it located?
Right. Back here.
Just come to the office and we'll get you into the shed.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll probably come this week.
Race volunteers, there's an issue. CERT is no longer actively seeking involvement in things like the race and other things. It's not that they won't have volunteers, but you need to put the inquiry in, and individuals from CERT, if they're available, will come on, but they're not going to do it as a team.
Okay.
I can speak to, and I was on the road last year, and Ron saw we have to either have more stanchions or something, because I had literally people pulling up and moving the stanchions so they could drive up to the thing over here on Garfield. It was not a good situation over on this side. So I think we might have to maybe put our high school volunteers over here on food and things like that, and put our trust treaties out on the road.
And didn't we say at the meeting that everybody who's on the board who has a spouse or significant other should invite invite that individual to come help on the morning of the race?
So that's just a reminder that we need to do that.
I'm safe. I'm safe.
You safe? You have brothers.
I've never been able to tell them.
You know, I'll have to look on the map and maybe get a count on how many extra bodies we're gonna need.
Because when there were bodies at corners, people were turning onto the.
I know, it seems like we had a hell of a lot more traffic this year.
Yeah.
And people wanna get out and go.
Well,
For
people don't respect,
you know,
signage and
so we're
lights.
gonna have to have a pretty good amount of people at more intersections or more streets to keep them, you know, from the race route, so.
And what are the rules? They can't use that street for 45 minutes. They can't use it at all. They can't
don't
use
wanna
their
wait.
runners on it.
I mean.
No, but I mean, what do we have?
I mean, there are people who live on the street
Authority
who
to
need to
do.
get in and out, and I tried to accommodate those folks. It was the people like coming down from Maine onto Garfield, or people who drove down, what is it, Bon Air?
Yeah.
Into there, and then they got, because there was nobody at those intersections, they were turning in and then coming out and then letting themselves into the race course, literally driving on the right with the racers going by. Now, later on in the race, it's not an issue at that particular point. But this was during the course of the start of the race, and there were a lot of people.
That
coming
first
through.
mile, you know, that first mile, you got a lot of traffic.
So I think we are going to need a few more people, because we're going to have the kids race and we're going to have to do more on the street. So we are going to have to.
Unless we move bodies, like we physically, you move from a location, like we start over here and then the bodies move to the next place where, and you know, and then literally we have a car that's bringing those people so that they're ahead of the racers. That might be a way to move people around, so you have more at the location where the racers are. But you always have those slower people. You have the walkers, you have people with strollers. I mean,
and we have a route,
right.
so people need to be back at the same place.
Right. So I mean, it would be better if we just had more people who could stay at a location.
In New Britain, when the race for the cure occurs, and I realize it's a little larger than our race.
A little larger?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, just a tad. But when those roads are blocked off, if you live in one of those neighborhoods and you don't get in or out before that happens, you are SOL. You cannot move.
Yeah.
But I think except on, which one's Walsh? Is that the first one we're on? Or Audubon? I get confused all the time between it's Walsh, right?
Yeah.
So I think Walsh is tough that first 20 minutes, 15 minutes. But after that, they start to spread out. I mean, usually running on one side of the road, and hopefully people don't randomly run over people.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can't have them coming in on to Garfield from either Willard or from Main Street.
That was happening a little bit.
Well, and they weren't coming, I'm gonna tell you, they weren't coming in off of Willard, because I was
No.
there.
No,
Yeah.
I watched them.
No,
I
Andy-
ran down, I ran down
Andy-
to stop them at one end, and I looked up at Garfield, and they're stopping the car and moving the thing, and it was just me. So I was running between places, and I'm like, no, it didn't matter what.
Andy was at Willard and Garfield, and he was keeping traffic out of there, which was good. But I mean, it was some of the inner streets there that people just,
Yeah.
They were finding a way around it.
yeah.
Well, not too, I mean, I don't know if you do too much. Fortunately, we haven't had anything happen. And again, I mean, people run, they jog, and there's cars in the road.
Can we ask the police department to take one of their cruisers and park it there for the time of the run to block off the intersection? People will not drive through a police car. If we put one on each end, that secures those
You're
ends.
gonna have to pay.
You have to pay for
Just
it.
to have the car parked?
Oh, yeah, because you're paying for a cop in the car.
Yeah, and it's not cheap. They've been good enough to give us one cop for free, but they.
Maybe we can move the Tilcon truck over there.
Yeah, we'll do that. Easy. Probably get a ticket.
Can you please, Tilcon, could you please bring 3 trucks and send a driver for Sunday morning?
Yeah, that gets too expensive.
We also, I mean.
Their overtime would be more than the cops.
Just
Right.
in case we need help.
Yeah, the real least we get, I don't know when we get.
Yeah, but now they're being careful.
They don't
of that, because
do-
Now Paul was nearby to me and they're not supposed to do traffic.
No, I'm not expecting them to do
That's
that.
right, yeah.
No, I'm not expecting that, but.
Yeah.
Not expecting that.
So as I said, we can put it out to CERT, I can tell them the date and they, but
Who do
as
we
I
have to
said,
give it to?
It's to DJ now,
So just.
and Sally Larkin is the one who coordinates the,
Who are they? DJ?
DJ, what's his?
We
last
gave
name?
her, we were.
He's the new emergency management
We
director,
directed.
he's the fire marshal as well.
Sally likes us, yes.
Well-
Pardon me?
Sally likes us.
Sally likes you, give it to Sally, Sally will put it out.
Well, if CERT can't do the traffic,
No, they
They
they're not gonna do it as an organized group in terms of putting it out to their, saying, this is something we're gonna do, because they're burning out their members, is what's happening. Because, like Extravaganza wants to use them.
Yeah.
And all these other things, and they just, they're supposed to be focusing on emergencies.
Right.
So
Okay.
they're changing the focus.
All right.
so if they want to individually show up,
Yes,
you know, they can do traffic.
they can do traffic,
Oh,
because we're all trained.
Yeah.
It's just, we're not gonna do it as a
Yeah.
unit.
Okay.
Okay, I think we've kind of stopped with the mile timers. Everybody has the watches and all that, and use those people instead for traffic, you know. I know Paul used to do,
yeah, I used to do all.
yeah, he did the 1 mile, right? The 2 miles, he did 2, he used to walk the 2.
Oh.
Yeah, we used to bring some out to 1, I think my kids did it sometimes or something, my wife did it, but I don't think we need to have those people, not to have them on the roads and. Yeah, preventing any issues we're gonna have there. Ambulance, usually you take care of that, right? Okay. So Karen on ambulance. All right. Promotions, are we okay to jump over to promotions? Anything else, of course? T-shirts, I guess that's gonna be you again. Are you gonna do it back to boring white? Or we're gonna have some sparkling color again? I'm just saying, I'm not
How much
trying
was
to
it?
influence
I'm
you.
gonna get sparkles on you.
Just do it. You'll have a special.
Okay, I want.
She's gonna stand behind you with glitter.
I think everybody likes the color, and as you say, it really wasn't that much more, I mean, it is, but it's not that much more expensive, and I think people have enough white shirts. with-
Yeah. I agree.
Teal is always a popular color, so.
Feels good color.
Yeah, I tend to like, bright colors too, if people are running.
But I like the fabric of the shirt.
Oh, the dry fit, yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely do dry fit, and we'll look at, a colored dry fit again.
Okay.
Especially because the treasurer said, they weren't that bad.
So, now, we have plenty of shirts left over, right? Because we order so many shirts, and we have, our attendance obviously is a lot less than it used to be. We're around 200 every year now, not the 250 or 2.
Well, you give it to the sponsors.
Right,
We had more sponsors.
we have shirts left over.
More sponsors than we've had before, so,
Didn't answer the question.
yeah, I don't remember having lots left over.
Okay, public relations. That's kind of, I mean, I know you have your own with the signs, we talked about that already, but I'll get them up on all the online stuff. I've got to reach out to, what is the one in West Hartford? Something feet?
Oh, Fleet.
I'm gonna reach out to them and talk to them. Now we have dates and stuff on those.
We're gonna talk to them about,
We're gonna talk about to see if they wanted to put a sponsorship kind of thing together, not a sponsorship, but have attendance and have their own group come out and
yes,
run the race and stuff.
yes,
Is that the,
use our race as one of their training races.
right?
So you're gonna talk to them about that, Kevin?
Yeah, Ann had given me a name and a contact, so I'll reach out to them. Sponsor sign, race sign and banners, pretty much we're just gonna do what we normally do on that every year, nothing changes on that. And then registration forms, we're not doing any more mailings anymore, right? Everything's online, we're doing.
No, we have some who walk in, not a lot, but some that walk in and.
Walk-in that are
Not
now.
walk-in.
No, but we're not mailing, we used to mail out registration forms to past attendees, we don't do that anymore, right? We stopped that a couple years ago.
For drop it off here.
Yeah, we didn't do it last year, so we're not gonna do that anymore, right?
No, I guess not. No.
Well, it doesn't make sense, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
To send it out, and most people have emails and
I mean,
most
It
are online.
doesn't feel like we get that many more if we mail them or don't mail
I think it's,
Oh, I don't
I
know
think we had
anymore.
maybe all of a half a dozen last year that were registered with a check in here.
Oh, it was very, I think you had 17,
Was it that many? Well, it just.
but you had some that Saturday morning maybe.
Oh, that's
too.
right, Saturday
But
morning.
I think you had like 17, and it was amazing, because I used to do, usually it's half, it was like
Yeah.
50-50, it was
Yeah, I mean,
most,
it was a negligible amount that I had ahead of time.
yeah, especially ahead of time, so it probably was 6 or 8, I think you're right, I think that's what it was.
And we're doing the Saturday pre-reg or pre-pickup. I think it's been popular.
Yeah, I think it certainly makes Sunday easy.
What's the percentage of people who picked up? The day before.
50, did you
Is
say?
it good 50%?
No, not 50%,
50 or
like 50 people,
Maybe 50
Or 60 people picked up.
60, okay, yeah.
But it seems to be nice because so far the weather's been good, but when we sit out there, we're by the banner, kind of. It's another way to advertise it, everybody that comes in, even if they're not coming by for the race, is like, oh, this is going on tomorrow, oh, maybe we should.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, as long as
I mean,
it's
because
just volunteer,
people, it helps the bottom line.
it doesn't cost you anything, right, it's volunteer time.
It does take the congestion off in the morning.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the mornings are running really smooth now, since you've been doing that pre-registration stuff, and
yeah,
most people are online and everything, it's been a lot easier. We really have more than a couple people online, a couple people lined up once, so I get 4. I mean, I remember when we first started doing this, sometimes we'd have 10
oh,
or
they'd be
12.
out,
Yeah.
lines. Lines and lines.
Okay, any other old business before we move on to new business?
This is an old business, so we've got this checklist from last year, that's kind of like.
Oh, that's right.
Who was and what to do,
Yeah,
right? We still have this, I think we should use this, more our guides.
Good idea. I haven't even looked at it yet.
Well, it touches everything.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was wonderful.
Yeah, we'll go through it.
all right, so the new business I heard so far is this kids race, so this
Yes,
is,
we apologize for not.
no, I'm just curious. What your goals are, and of course, that's not my decision, you guys are the board, but what that's going to do besides just create more work. I'm not, and like, what do you think? I guess, where is that race gonna be? It's not gonna be out there full race, right? That's right, it's a kids race. And when is it gonna happen? And are you gonna have is the timer gonna be involved in that? or-
No, so really, our thought was we would do it on the side lawn over by where the walk is, where all those new arborvitae's went. And it would be for the very young kids, and we would just set up a race where they could go, ready, set, go, not necessarily doing timing, but who was
Okay.
first, who's second, so, when you've got the 3-year-olds and the 4-year-olds, they're not running with them, and hanging around.
So like a U5 kind of?
Yeah, what did we decide?
So, but
Go ahead.
my concern is that, well, someone else is gonna have to watch the kids, because a lot of times the adult, if someone's running in a race in the family, they're watching the runner. So are you gonna do it during the race? Is that what was that?
We thought we would do it during the race, after the start,
Okay.
so that anybody that's hanging around.
In the race?
we
Are you
got-
gonna have a committee that's in charge of all that?
Good, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I do think so, because
It's
gonna be, honestly, the race itself is a lot of work, so someone needs to be separately in charge of that, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, I wonder what your numbers are gonna be, I suppose it's really informal, your numbers might be,
Gonna be informal. It's not.
that's what I'm saying, if it's really informal, then you might get.
There's no charge for it, right?
That's right,
There's
15,
no charge for it, but we'll have some cute little.
yeah,
We'll have little ribbons.
Are you gonna advertise it as part of the race, or what were you thinking?
Well, it'll be advertised to the people who are participating, but I mean, I don't think not gonna send out a special person.
I think this first time, we didn't want to make a big, like, oh, come, because we don't want to be the kiddie care center either, right? So, if the child is there with an adult and they want to run, we'll set it up. It gives them something to do while they're waiting the 20 minutes for somebody to come by, because that was the thing with the DJ, with the other things, it just seemed like, we had the balloons in it. we don't know what to do with the little kids. Maybe we can get them involved, maybe that brings it more like a town family thing, maybe we get more people involved, because you know, it's like, well, grandma will watch the kids and they'll be able to run up and down in their own way. I don't know.
So
What about our
So-
liability if a little one gets hurt?
It's not that big of a race. The parent, somebody will have to be there with the child. I mean, that's part of the deal. But we were thinking of asking the high school running coach if he would come and, you know, that he's got the runners that can't run because it's in season for them.
Mhm.
And maybe that group could, you know,
Coach
coach them.
They
through.
could be coaches.
They can be coaches. So that was part of the thought, and if that doesn't work out, I have somebody in mind who is a runner and knows everybody in town. And so maybe I could convince her to help out with that, but we can start with the coach, but I have to find his name in my deluge of emails. I know it's written down somewhere, probably on that list. Can I see that list? I probably have it on that list.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to excuse myself and I'll be going to my radio club meeting. Thank you very much for the invitation. Hope to see you next time.
Okay.
Yes.
And
you
I would
next
like
month.
to mention that my colleague and friend George Lillenstein, who was with us last couple of years, I'm sorry to report that he passed away in November.
Oh,
So he's no longer with us. But I will so I will report to the club that and I'm sure we'll want to try to help you on May 21st.
Okay,
So-
thank you. Thank you.
So
Steve.
thank you very much, everyone. Have a good night. See you next time.
thank you.
All right.
Right, so we're gonna create a subcommittee to kind of handle that part, the skid race, and then work out a route.
It's really just gonna be the lawn. We're gonna set up stanchions
more
on either end with
more,
maybe
50-yard
tape.
dash.
Oh, really? Okay, so, oh, that's true.
It's really, yeah,
Oh.
it's like, picture this room, right? You're gonna run and go for it.
Okay.
It's for little kids and.
And maybe double that length, or maybe 1.5 of that for the 4-year-olds.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, that's,
We're only doing 2 to 4-year-olds.
So do you want that information though on the race form? Because it's a space issue, but the race form is gonna have to be done before the next meeting, most likely,
Oh,
right?
Well, we can,
so kid fundraise.
you could, since you're gonna limit it to people pretty much register, the families of them,
yeah.
maybe you could just do it as a blast on one of our emails out to them.
That might be.
That might be the better.
Yeah.
thing to do.
Particularly this first time around.
Yeah, because then I'll get our,
And they'll keep not outsiders, but they'll keep them around.
People from just coming in.
yeah, well, we figure it out. That's right, because we don't want to have 75 4-year-olds.
Right, exactly. So
Three
maybe,
races on the day when we don't know our first time through. Right. Okay.
all right, so a couple things I heard and I forgot something about, we did balloons last year because of the 25th. Are we doing balloons again this year?
No.
Not a good, no.
They were a pain in the ass. Okay, I'm gonna write that down.
No, I said no.
I just heard what I wanted to hear. Is there any other business?
Let's go back to registration.
Okay,
So I just got the email from you that we're all set to.
the system's up
The
and,
system's up, so I can go in and do this week and.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows, I will push to have, last year we opened at the end of January, and I will do that again, and.
I think it's actually open right now. I think somebody could actually register right now.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know if anybody has, they actually haven't checked. No, I haven't got an email. I used to get an email every time somebody registers.
yeah, but
So the price is the same.
the price is the same, but all of the supporting information needs to be reviewed and updated.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, all the references to the anniversary has to be removed, stuff like that. So, what I'll do is I'll go through that and, get the text for the email scheduled in place so that it's ready to go, and so I can have that off my list. This is just a piece of news. I would be on a little road trip from February 18th to March 18th, so. And within that time frame, I will have limited access to the internet. But
I may come back to you then and ask for downloads on the listings if we get checks.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Because it's just simpler if I can enter it as they come in.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. That's not an issue.
So I will do that, open online registration and test.
Okay.
Does anybody remember the name of the coach, the running coach at the high school, if I can find it easier?
I do not.
I think it's Jay Crisell.
That's it. Thank you.
Well, he's running our race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He runs our race.
Yeah, he probably can't help but look at because he'll be in the race. He pretty much runs our race every year.
Yeah.
But he may
have
students.
But how could he, oh, he could have his kids, oh, okay.
Because they
They
can't.
can't run that. Well, okay. He's rolling this guy.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other new business?
Well, the
Next meeting is when?
I think it's like the 9th of
February.
February, something like that.
So I'm also, that's the month I'm out of town, but I'll 13th, but I can dial in, right? We'll do that. So,
Yep.
So I'll pretend I'm Maureen. That way.
You don't want to, she's got a broken foot.
No, Maureen, I'm sorry. I don't want
Broken
to.
leg.
I don't have a broken leg. I don't have a broken leg.
Yeah.
Close.
Sound like it's fun.
No, but I'm 90% healed. So I can't, I would love to have been in person for both meetings tonight, but walking from the car through the parking lot, I'm still unsteady enough that I'm better off in familiar territory.
If you need a good story on how it happened, I got lots.
I've got a good one too, and I'm too embarrassed to tell it.
I see revenue?
Can I just make one suggestion before, Neil, thank you for bringing this list. I'll make sure to bring it next time. I think like we do at our meeting.
Maybe
we go
send it out again to everybody. So it's
That's not what I'm gonna say. I think we should, so for the month of January, I'm gonna quickly read the items that are on last year's list. Make sure we covered everything, or maybe just.
Okay.
Okay, so January, our retained timing company, that's Kevin.
Yeah.
Update online registration website, that's me. We'll update the donor portion of the website, that's Lisa and I. And we'll do that as we go. Speak to the insurance company to get the insurance writer for the race. Begin updating paper registration forms that staff. Contact the printer to see if they will print the race forms at no charge. But minimum, right? Minimum paper forms. Contact the volunteer ambulance. I think we're doing that. Reserve the CVS sign through Parks and Rec. Begin text prep for emails. That's me. A newspaper announcement. Online registration is open. We need to resurrect. That would be Christine Shushan. Isn't she doing the PR? No.
Don't come on to.
Okay. Obtain submission deadlines for Newington Life. Prep Facebook and social media announcements, and open online registration. That's it.
Okay. Good. Handy list to have.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you might want to just distribute that to the whole board. I'm thinking if you printed it out, you got it. No, in email.
I'll email.
Yeah.
No, there's an updated version of that after we had that. How well we had that list has been updated.
Okay. So I tried to find that for me, and I came up with our mini meeting notes, but I didn't find that long list that you had. So it would be great. And
Yeah, I'll email this out.
get the most current one emailed out.
I will, Neil, I have the most current one, so I'll get that.
Oh, good, yeah, because this is dated
Yeah.
February.
Yeah, and thank you. I appreciate that. 'Cause I searched and searched, and I came up with our recap summary. But I didn't come up with that one. That's invaluable.
You're gonna send out the updated.
Okay, you want to close the meeting?
Meeting closed. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
next month.
Great committee meeting is done, and we'll move into the. Thanks.
Thank you, everybody. See you
Yeah.
next time.
Thanks. So those of you that are online, you have to sign into the other meetings.
Yep.
Thank you.